Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be doing a gameplay breakdown centered around how to dominate and win solo matches in Fortnite. I haven't done a gameplay breakdown in a while on my channel, but I thought this would be a perfect topic to do one. And the gameplay we're going to be breaking down is a 20 kill solo match from about a week ago. Now, at least in my opinion, 20 plus kill solo matches have always been really difficult to get. Even when Siphon was in the game and people were dropping 30 plus kill solo squads games like it was nothing, it was still really hard to even get 20 kills in a regular solo match. That's because, for a variety of different reasons, lobbies always die the quickest in solos, and it's even worse now with hotspots and all the crazy forms of mobility in the game. So this should be an interesting video, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so hopping right into the gameplay, I spot this guy in this house in front of me, but then get shot from behind by another player. He makes a good play to ramp rush over me, but for some reason weirdly jumps down onto me, and it ends in him getting two-tacked for an easy kill. Questionable play there, but now I know this guy's gonna still be in this house since he was there about 10 seconds ago. The only bad news is, looking at my inventory and health and mat situation, it's not looking very good, to be honest. So I want to kind of make this a close range fight so it doesn't turn into some crazy build battle, and that's exactly what happens here as I make a good play and kind of finesse him by navigating the cover well on that window. So as you can see, I kill this guy and still the whole inventory situation isn't looking great. I'm trying to put together what I have here, and that's when I spot another guy making an aggressive play on me from the slipstream. Now luckily I hit him for 40 and also end up double tacking him by making a nice play of utilizing that high ground jump down. So we're off to a nice little start here with 4 kills, and now we skip ahead a little further into the game, but still in Mega Mall. And for the second time in a row, we have a player just randomly slowly gliding down directly on me, and that predictably ends up not really working very well. You don't really ever want to just slowly glide onto someone looking at you because you're just a sitting duck in the air since you can't really fire back. This next player, though, he does fire back, and he ends up making me very, very weak. After trying to get a cheap shot off, I decided smarter at this point to just retreat and hit some band-aids, which I'll obviously fast forward. So now, I'm in a bit of an awkward position. Only 47 health, I don't have a ton of mats, my weapon situation isn't great yet, so I'm just gonna play kinda defensive when that happens. For some reason, another player just out of nowhere landing on me. It's definitely a bit of a weird start to this game, I'll say that. So what I'm trying to do here is just keep high ground and kind of have these other two players engage each other so I can come in for the cleanup. And that's exactly what happens right there. Unfortunately, I couldn't get both of them, but 1 kill and not a death is definitely something I'll take in that situation. After awkwardly falling off my ramp there, I spot a random player up here doing who knows what, maybe turtling, thinking he's in a World Cup game, but I can assure him he's not, and it ends up being a pretty easy kill. So we skip ahead a little to me gliding into Dusty Divot when I spot this guy jumping around on the rooftops. Now, I feel very bad for this guy because of what you're about to see here. I spot him, I line up a boom bow shot, and then immediately finish him off with 2 AR shots. That guy went from about 170 health to dead in about half a second. This next guy makes a bad play by jumping out of his baller and engaging me when I was in my baller because it allowed me to just jump out and get some easy shots on him, which he wasn't expecting. Now, if you caught it there, I spotted a guy riding around in a baller outside of the zone, so I have to be conscious of that. I know he's going to come into the zone from that general area, so I can't not worry about him and just pretend he's not there. And as you're going to see in a second here, I'm also getting shot from that mountain. So what I thought was about to be a nice little 1v1 build battle is now becoming a very sticky situation with 4 different players all in this general area. Luckily, one of those players, the first one I fought, decides to run away for whatever reason, not even away from the storm, just away from the area, and that ended up being a very easy kill for me to get, which I needed in this awkward situation. So now I'm using cover here, checking if that player's still on top of the mountain when I spot the player that came out of the zone from the baller, and yeah, I got a little lucky with the bloom there, I'll admit it. So now we skip ahead again, and this is actually going to be a really funny kill here. So I take the sky base up, and I'm initially going to follow this guy, but he takes a bit of a weird path away. That's when I spot this guy just ramping up to the sky for whatever reason, and he doesn't really recognize I'm there until it's too late. Maybe he was playing without audio, maybe it was some kind of bug, but I'll definitely take it. A little later on, I'm kind of patrolling the edge of the storm, and I expect a player to be coming in from the general tilted area. So with a little help from my eyes and aim assist abuse with my SCAR, I end up hitting those 4 AR shots for a quick kill. So I see a bunch of chaos going on over there, but obviously I'm going to get this supply drop since I'm so close to it. It ends up being a smart play since I get a slurp juice, and now I'm going to go immediately towards that chaos. As you can see, I've been using the boom ball a lot in this gameplay, and apparently it's getting nerfed in the next Fortnite update, so that's good news. And as you can see right there, it definitely is good news because of what you can do with it. So I want to shoot this thing out and kind of make these guys come down to the bottom and fight me without their crazy high ground. After hitting another boombo shot, I know I have at least one of these players weak when I get shot from behind. So much like one of the fights from earlier in the video, this situation is now a little more complicated than I was hoping for. Luckily, I'm able to box this guy in and place 2 traps on him, and since he couldn't escape, it ended up being a really easy kill. So after that, I'm going to immediately shift my focus back towards these 2 players that were building for high ground to the sky a little bit earlier. Luckily, I see that one of the players has retreated into kind of a defensive position, so I'm able to floor and cone over relatively easily. I catch him in a 1x1 and watch this play I make here. After placing my wall, he places down a ramp, so I destroy it and place down that cone inside the 1x1, and what that did is it prevented him from placing down another defensive ramp. It's a cool little play. It does require some quick thinking and quick placement as well, but if you can execute it, it's basically a guaranteed kill for you since the player has their building menu out. So now I'm going to focus on the second player from that earlier high ground fight, and much like the first player, he also decides to go into a defensive position, which allows me to easily get over to his area. After breaking and replacing this first wall, I realize he's actually on the level below it, so I go inside, break and replace this floor piece, and easily hit him with a 136 damage combat shotgun headshot, which he obviously isn't going to survive. Skipping ahead in the gameplay, I'm wandering around when I randomly see this player building around this supply drop. So obviously this is going to be a really easy opportunity for me to get a kill. Again, much like with the last 2 players, I'm able to floor and cone over in an uncontested way, which allows me to easily begin the fight from a position of high ground. And also, like the last 2 players, this guy also goes into a position of turtling. What he does instead, though, is actually pretty smart. Instead of just staying turtled and letting me replace his wall, he tries to build for high ground as soon as I go to destroy the wall. Unfortunately, I'm able to kind of box him off, and he eventually does retreat into a turtled position. He places the trap, but I'm smart enough to know that I can't just jump into the box, and instead I ended up shotgunning him from outside of it. Moving on, I start this next fight off in a really awkward position because I didn't know the guy was already on top of the mountain, so now I'm stuck having to build up. I'm using cones so he can't just shoot over me, and luckily, eventually I am able to establish some high ground over him. After hitting that 1 combat shotgun shot, the player makes the very questionable play of trying to fly away in the middle of that fight, and it doesn't end up working out for him. So now we're on to the final fight of the video, which starts in a weird way with this guy almost skybased into the air, so I need to boom bow him out and make him redeploy. And after a little, we're now in more of a traditional on-the-ground build battle situation. I'm trying to kind of 90 up and locate him, and also at the same time trying to hit these minis, but after hitting one of them, I see that he's starting to build up. So after hitting the second one, I just keep kind of cranking 90s up into the air, looking for an opportunity to get a shotgun shot, and that's when I see him also redeploy, I guess trying to get to the next zone, but I end up winning the game with 20 kills. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. How many solo wins do you have in Season 9? Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.